tell us more about the activism involved. You touched upon it in the Q&A also. What was the thing that got you involved to start doing activism and speaking truth to power?
I grew up during the days of Vietnam where there was actually a draft, and so somebody like you would be shipped off to Vietnam whether you wanted to or not. And I realized that it was crazy, that we were killing people thousands of miles away. We didn't know why, and that the people we loved were coming back either in body bags or mentally or physically wounded. And it was then that I realized I've got to do something about this. And I've been doing some kind of work around peace and justice issues ever since, not always based around the issues of war. For quite a while I was dealing with the economic justice issues, but after 9/11 happened, I felt like I had to get involved with trying to stop the occupation of Iraq and try to bring our troops back from Afghanistan, and now involved in trying to stop the drone wars.
So the recent video that people definitely encourage to check out, your confrontation with the president, talking about the issues that should be mentioned, which is the drone strikes that you also mentioned earlier. That is a good thing also for touching upon the idea of getting more transparent about drone strikes, for the president to mention it from your questions as well. So what has the response been from different people about that when you questioned him on that?
Well, it's funny, I got a chance to speak up and ask him about why wasn't he releasing the prisoners of Guantanamo who had been cleared for release. Why was he allowing the drone strikes to kill so many innocent people and not acknowledging it, apologizing, compensating? And I was accused by many people of being rude. And I said, when I got a chance, like on CNN, where the anchor was really hounding me of, you're so rude and you can't interrupt the president, and your message is not going to be heard because the way you did it, and there's so many nicer ways. And you got to say, look, one, I try all the nice ways, and I've been doing that for years, and it doesn't get you anywhere. And two, what is more rude, to interrupt the president with your voice, or to kill innocent people with drone strikes, to force feed stuffed tubes down people's noses to stop them from eating, to force feed them because you won't refuse to release them, to not acknowledge to the American people that you have these hidden wars that are going on? Those kind of things I think are a little bit more rude than just using your voice to get your message out.
And also, we're here for the Dirty Wars screening, which just saw. We definitely encourage people to check it out. What are your thoughts on the film, and what's the one thing people could take back from seeing the film, or to check it out?
Well, the film is just, I think, shocking to people because this is not covered in our mainstream media. You don't even hear it on the more liberal MSNBC. You don't see the pictures from the people that we've killed in Yemen, or the kind of unsavory characters that we're working with in Somalia as part of our proxy wars, or the just hateful things that we have done in Afghanistan. And so I think to take away is to recognize that no matter if it's a Republican or a Democrat that's in the White House, governments lie, governments hide things from the people, governments, if not confronted by an effective mass-based, nonpartisan movement, will continue to follow the military route for things, and will keep us in a state of perpetual war. And if we want to have a future that is for generations to come, where the military is not the dominant factor that's sucking up so much of our resources, then we've got to really confront that. And I would say the takeaway for me is just get more active, more mobilized, and more effective.
Speaking with the activism front, you mentioned also, there's a question from somebody about getting involved in activism. The one thing that from your story that you could take from, because people can get angry about what's going on, the issues with drones or anything else, but what's the one thing that people watching at home can think to start getting involved in activism, start getting past the fear of starting to try to make changes that need to be made, and put more anger and channel that into action?
Well, it's really sweet because after the movie, there was a high school student, and he came up and he said his name was Sam, and he said, "What can I do to get involved?" And I was saying, "Well, you can try to bring these up in your class, and you can sign up and keep in contact with us." And he said, "You know, I saw your slide presentation. I think I could make it a lot better. So maybe you could send me a copy, and I'll fix it up. That's something that I could do." And I thought, what a cool young guy, which is to take a skill that you have, whether it's your ability to work in the social media or your skills online or your skills as being somebody who likes to go out and talk to people, you know, whatever your skill is, and put it to good use. So I think that's the lesson is, and the other thing is to always push yourself one step further. Like people say to me, what was it like confronting President Obama? You know, it was like really scary. And a lot of things are really scary. So for some people, it's really scary to take a step and say, I'm going to go and join a protest. I'm going to put on an orange jumpsuit and stand out with people to say, give justice to the prisoners of Guantanamo. I'm going to go to a protest around the NSA spying, even though it might make me more of a target of spying. Everything we do is taking one more step beyond your comfort zone. And that's what we have to do. And you find that as you do it, it really is very liberating.
So just to wrap it up here, tell people out there where they could find your work, how to get involved with your organization, different groups like that, groups in their area, or how to participate in rallies or different or future projects that you have coming up.
Our group is called Codepink, and it's led by women, but we welcome men, so you can go online, codepink.org, and sign up, and we'll send you ideas of how to get involved. And we also, if you're interested in the drone issue, have started a website called droneswatch.org, where we have lots of information and ideas for action as well.
And so they agreed. They said, we're not going to write about this. We're not going to investigate it. We're not going to ask questions about why a drone base is in Saudi Arabia and what that would mean. I mean, the killing that could happen, the blowback that could happen here in the United States.
3 years ago, there was no discussion of the covert war on terror in the mainstream at all. I mean, it existed on the fringes and, you know, public radio or whatever, or progressive print outlets, and now it's in downtown theaters around the country, and that is